I went to a job. When I was in university to be a teacher, and I didn't even really want to be a teacher. So I looked in some jobs. My friends were making crazy money. They had cars and houses. And I went to, it was like 2006, 2007. And I went to an interview and I dressed up for it. And everyone, it was like a boiler room. Like everyone's on phone, standing in cubicles. Like a guy literally on the phone was saying, Sally, listen to me, relax. And he was selling or something, you know, and I'm just like, it was already grimy. And the guy to interview me was a shorter dude. And the style at the time, like 2006, was not a style that any normal person would wear. But it was like the tie was short and very fat. And so this guy was so on point with what was cool that day. He ended up like wearing something that is forever a ridiculous outfit other than that day when it was too cool for school. And I went in there and he was like, yeah, so tell me, you think you'd be good at this job? Why would you be good at it? And I was like, I remember just being like, oh, whenever I dedicate myself, I'm going to be good, and I'm really good at speaking to people. Yeah. And he was like, and I just remember because he was like, yeah, me, when I first did this job, wasn't good at talking to people. Now I could speak to anyone. I got disrespected by girls in the past that want to fuck me now because I'm making $300,000 a month. You think you want to work in a place like this and make big money? It's all about money. If you're not going to make money, don't even come work here. So you want to
work here? I kind of want to fuck you.
You should have seen how fat his tie was. It was fucking girthy. This is scenario, and I was like, okay, yeah. And he was like, so be here tomorrow. And then I left and just really taking in everything. I just had a bad vibe, and I didn't go to work the next day. And my buddy was so mad. He didn't talk to me for like a year. He was like, I fucking got you an interview. So many people want to work here, bro. You fucking living in your parents' house. You're so fucking. And I was like, I have a bad feeling about it. But anyways, the owner of that place, he like was making $100 million a year. He like had to run away to Israel. I think he was murdered there or killed, maybe something. I heard. It was all hearsay. I don't really know, but
that could have been you.
Yeah, there was like crazy stings. They were like remortgaging people's houses. They were calling up old people and having them take a mortgage out on their house.
Oh, were they doing reverse mortgages?
Yeah, they were with crazy percentages, and they were all they had a script, and everyone had such a high, like a 30% success rate with every person, and they're making like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 off people on a phone call, like 2 phone calls, and that's what's happening. And I want to say like, oh yeah, I didn't go there because I'm a good person or something like that. Like the temptation
was the tie.
There. It was just the tie did a lot. The environment was just ugly,
intimidating.
And I'm important. I want the vibe. Like I'm a guy who the vibe is important. I could work at a job and get paid shit, but if it's like a good time, we're chilling. We're living life. You know what I mean?
Were you also put off by like a guy who, purportedly earns $3.6 million a year, like talking to you and being like, step one of this place is I do get pussy. It happens all the time, actually, and I'm not insecure about it. And I'm standing on this series of yellow books, not because you're so tall.
But I wonder why he opened with that. Like,
yeah, that's weird.
I gave him whatever I said, or at some point I gave him the message that he was like, you don't think I get pussy? But
you're like $300,000 a year. I'm 6'5" and I could steal your girlfriend.
Even before he said all that, he was already taller than me somehow.
No, that was just his attitude.
No, he was literally. No, he was much shorter, but like actually, like I was like,
whoa, this guy gets pussy all time.
Yeah, he
all
definitely
time
does.
Pussy getting dude. Well, it's good you didn't take that job and get murdered with $100 million in Israel with some CEO.
They only murdered the guy who owned the place. I'd have taken that job. That sounded like, look, I wouldn't do that job with the reverse mortgage thing because that is, ripping off elders and like taking the inheritance of their children away and potentially just throwing them out of their house in a couple of years. So it's super evil. But if it was something not super evil, I'd been down. I don't mind a shitty boss. I've had shitty bosses, scummy bosses. That guy that I worked for was a drug dealer. Like the scary guy. Yeah.
He had his finger in a lot of pies.
It was before he was the GM of the dealership. They had he hired his former dealers and growers to be salesmen. So I talked to them and weed. They had like a big weed organization, like literally organized crime. Like this one guy, Greg, actually, Garrett, yeah. Garrett was like, yeah, I used to grow for CJ. I run the whole show. And I'm like, oh, okay. Did 4.5 years for that ninja. So like all those guys were getting taken care of by the general manager.
Well, he did
now
4.5 years without ratting them. Okay.
Yeah. So like the main guy made out like a bandit and became the general manager of that dealership. And then he made them like they're called like the house rat or the house mouse. He's the guy who gets the cheese deals. It's a whole car salesman lingo bullshit thing, but cheese deals are free car deals. It's someone calls in like, hey, I'm buying 5 Ford Rangers for my company. Here's the price. And they're like, okay, deal. And that guy,
around these parts here, I'm the house mouse. See?
So when that guy comes in, the owner of the GM has to assign that to a salesman. That salesman's going to sell 5 cars today for free. You know, he'll do no work. He'll just do paperwork and he'll get paid. So Garrett would always get those cheese deals. He was the house mouse.
I like that.
Me too. I like the house mouse, but I'm biased because I'm the house mouse. I'm like house mouse. I'm the house mouse. I like the way that sounds.